Until we weren't.
Welcome back to Ex-Best-Friends, the podcast where two chaotic souls, one punk and a little unhinged,
One soft and very pink,
reunite with a mic and a lot of stories. I'm Kat.
And I'm Jax. And every week we dive into stories that are messy, magical, or mildly traumatizing. Sometimes all three.
From spiritual chaos to ex-friend reunions, listener confessions, and the wildest Reddit stories we can dig up.
We're your cosmic gossip hotline with emotional damage and healing energy.
So grab a drink, get cozy or chaotic,
and let's dive into it. Okay, so last week, meaning like an hour ago, because we're recording this back to back today, we actually got into our friendship back in middle school because, for a little recap, Kat and I used to be friends back when I was in 6th grade and she was in 7th. And
we stayed friends until like 9th and 8th grade, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. You were in 9th grade and I was in 8th grade.
It was 2020 we fell out, right?
We were only friends for 2 years. So yeah.
Okay.
So like I was saying though, you know, we were friends back in middle school and then we had a huge falling out, and well, this episode is about that falling out.
We're gonna explain why.
Yep.
So truth time, right? Truth time.
Time to get into the dirty details because this gets a little messy, and I'm going to tell you this right now. It's not great.
Yep. Can I just admit that it's 90% my fault? I feel like 10% of the blame is fair for you.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. I'll agree to that.
Okay. And 90% is fair for me, I think.
Do you at least want to start with the friendship that led up to that, because I feel like we need like
go
context.
The timeline in order instead of on the time. Okay.
I feel like you should put in some context.
For context, there was a lot going on in my mind at the time. So
I can tell the first part of it if you want, because I can the part that really matters, the beginning of it. I can tell it if you want.
Like with the friend.
Yeah, like so. Okay, basically, just to like catch you guys up, to inform you guys, not catch you up. So Kat and I, like I said, we were really close, and then she met somebody. I don't even what was her name?
Do we have to name drop people?
We can make up names.
Listen. I'm kind of scared of her still. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll make up a name and we can call. What should we call her?
I have an OC who's a bitch named Kelsey, so let's use that.
Okay, we'll use Kelsey. Okay, so this is a totally fake name, but it's the real story. So she meets a friend named Kelsey, who she introduces me to. And, at first, I loved her. I was like, oh my god, you're so chill, you're so funny. But, there were a few things.
You were both bad girls.
We were like, I don't want to say girl, but yeah.
Okay, well, listen. Okay, you were more identifying as a girl at the time than you are now, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that's true.
So that's what I mean. Don't call them girly in the comments, I don't think.
Please no.
Please no.
It's okay. I'm okay if I'm misgendered. That doesn't bother me as much. Hiccups.
I will throw hands for you if you're misgendered in the comments.
Okay.
Alright.
Anyways, so back to the story. So
excuse me.
She meets this person named Kelsey, and Kelsey, you know, you were saying was bad girl, blah blah blah. Sorry, I'm recapping out loud because I'm processing it in my head as I.
Do you not remember fully, and you're like
I'm getting there.
Your memories?
Yes.
Remember? Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Okay, so we were walking, and she's like telling me this story that just seemed really, really far fetched, but it was also like super, super stupid, dangerous. Like talking about how she got arrested. And at the time, I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's so badass. But, like, immediately after, I realized that this person was toxic. Like, I knew the second time that we hung out all together, like, the second time we all hung out together. Yeah. I was like, this is fucking toxic. What the literal fuck?
For context, right? Like, I was kind of ignorant to a lot of it at the time. And admittedly, I didn't really listen to either side when they tried to tell me. Like, definitely not your side, and I didn't listen to the other side much. I was like, why don't I just be friends with everyone?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I started telling Kat, I was like, hey, this person is, like, super toxic. And, well, you want to tell your part? Or do you want me to tell it?
I don't remember if what I'm thinking happened in the timeline happened yet, or if it took longer.
Well, what?
Did the post thing take longer, or was that next?
That's next. You want me to talk about it?
Okay, so for context, right? I feel like I've got to get into some... So in my head, there was a lot of stuff leading up to this that I don't know if I've actually shared with you, so...
You can go for it. Go for it.
Here we go.
The reason, let me add some context real quick to my giggling. My giggling is because I'm still salty about the post, and I've told her this. She knows this. I don't treat her any differently. Hold on. Let me explain. I don't treat Kat any differently. I'm not like, oh, you're such a fucking bitch still. No, she's changed. I can acknowledge she's changed. I still give her shit for it though occasionally. I'll stop giving her shit in like a year. But like
listen. Okay, I can admit that I earned the shit. Okay? Like
You back then would not have admitted.
Okay, listen. I dug into the toilet and brought out the shit and was like, why is there shit on my hand?
Exactly.
It's basically what happened. Like, so...
But besides the point, the reason I'm giggling is because I love talking about it because I think it's fucking funny. Anyway, go ahead and tell your side of the story. Go ahead and tell your side.
So, for context, there was a few things leading up to this that I think I took a little too personally some comments that were made before I even met this girl.
Right.
So... For context, I've always been a very sensitive person, but back then it was a lot easier to trigger me.
Yeah.
I think you'd agree that it's a lot harder to trigger me now.
Yeah.
But basically, God, I'm trying to...
You grew a thicker skin, which is a good thing.
Hi, my skin is thick. Don't try... You can't peel it off now. Sorry, I'm weird. But basically, well, so I think we had met in like 7th or 8th grade, and...
Kelsey?
Yeah, no, I had not met Kelsey yet. This is before. So there was stuff going in my head before this. So at the start of the year, right, there was a couple events that I was starting to question. Like, one time, I'm pretty sure this was during Mary Poppins, which you brought up last time. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, you've gotten better at this. You used to take your anger out on people, which you don't do anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't think they do that much anymore, so let's give them credit, right? Y'all, give them love. Okay. But, like, there was one time where I think we were doing, it was Mary Poppins, right? And you were, like, very stressed out about something, and I was supposed to move a prop in.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
And then you said something that was kind of not nice, but not the worst thing you could have said, you know. Like I'll give them that. It's not the worst thing you could have said. And then all I remember is everyone kind of started saying that they were being mean to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really...
also, okay, like, don't take this personally, but you were also, like, a huge follower. Like, you listened to everything that everyone told you.
Yeah,
you were super, super gullible.
Yeah.
Super, super naive.
I am getting better at being less naive, but
yes,
still...
you are, actually. I'm actually really proud of you. Like, I'm genuinely... I'm, like, genuinely really proud of you because you're doing so much better with it.
Yeah. Well, I started spending more time on the internet after our fallout, so I kind of was forced to learn. So
that's accurate.
After I don't know if I should say that on the podcast. Like, after I almost got doxxed last year, I kind of learned.
Yeah, I mean, you really do learn that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, like, okay, that's a story for another podcast.
Yeah,
so I don't even know if it's safe
off
to
topic.
tell.
We're getting off topic again.
But
if you can't tell, viewers, if you can't tell, and listeners, because we're gonna be posting this. Well, I'm gonna try and get the audio for this and post this to.
And I'll make a YouTube page to post
Spotify.
it.
But anyways, so anybody listening or watching, just so you know. We both have ADHD. And we will get off topic often. I am so sorry if it's really hard to follow us. You can skip over some of the really bullshit, like annoying, long, dragging out rants.
But basically,
I won't be offended.
Yeah, I was a huge follower back then. That is true. And, did you just vape? So sorry, that distracted me a little bit. It's fine. Yeah, you got it in my face, Jesus.
I did not.
It felt like that.
No, I wasn't even looking at you.
You know what? I think I leaned over like this.
I think you did.
It's my fault.
We'll watch the video back.
We'll watch it back. Fight number 2 dies. No, I'm kidding.
Anyways, go back. Continue. Continue.
Anyways, so that had happened, right? And that was something that had happened, right?
Another thing that I know that you were upset about, because you mentioned it to me, in case you, like, forgot about this, was, you did, like, tell me, and I will take credit because I was a kind of a shitty friend, too. Like, we both have, a lot of, this is probably where my faults come in. I would often... No, I know, but this is where my faults come in. I would often, because I had really, really strict parents, every time I came over here, her dad was, like, a lot more lenient than my parents, and even then, he's still super strict. But he would still, like, let us, like, leave the house. And I would often take advantage of that. Because I wasn't allowed to leave my house without a parental, like, guardian or somebody watching us. And so I would often use coming over here as an excuse to, like, go hang out with another person.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, that was really shitty on my part.
Most of the time, it was guys that I particularly was kind of terrified of.
Yeah.
Straight up.
The one that you really hated was this one guy that I was talking to. I'm not gonna name drop either, but we'll call him Caleb.
Caleb?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why. Just Caleb
God.
works.
Okay.
So we met up at a park, with this guy, and, what ended up happening was, he started talking to these two older guys, and we found out very quickly that one of them was in his 40s and the other one was in his 30s. At the time, I was like, what, 14?
Yeah, and I was like, I think I was
14
or 16, and I was, like,
right.
Flipping the fuck out in my head.
Because they straight up looked at me and told me that I looked like I was 18. And I'm pretty sure that those guys were, like, flirting with me even after I told them that I was 19. I'm not 19. I was told them that I was 14.
And
it was really creepy. Now, looking back at that, it was really creepy.
Yeah.
And, like, at the time, I wasn't uncomfortable. Because I had no fucking boundaries, and, like, I didn't understand that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the time, I had no I didn't care.
For me, right, I was a big goody two-shoes rule follower, so whenever Jackson would come over and we'd go out... Okay, I still am. Okay. You got me! Okay.
Was!
Okay, I don't like to do things I'm not supposed to, for context.
Right.
Like, I'm very scared to disobey authority, where Jackson was not that way. I don't know if you're still that way, but...
I still am. For the most part. I genuinely don't really give a fuck about what society or the law enforcement have to say unless I'm scared of going to jail. That's about it.
Hello, police. Oh my god, guys, we're freaking out. For context, Jackson removed the protective seal on our camera.
I've noticed it since the last video we just recorded, and I've been sitting here, like, the entire time just like, oh my god, that thing's annoying the crap out of me. Please let me take it off. This is so fucking annoying. When we edit it, can you zoom in on my face when I do that?
And now that they've actually said it, yeah.
I took it off, and I think it looks better. It definitely looks better.
I'm an observant person. I don't notice things like that.
It's okay.
But...
Anyways, back to the story. Again, we are so off topic, and generally...
For context, right? So, where were we last time? Okay, so we were talking about how...
We're talking about the park and the really, like, gross guys.
And this one dude, like, I never liked this dude, because he was...
The guy, quite Caleb, that's who we're calling him.
Caleb. He was mean to this other girl we knew that we now hate, but anyways. Remember Cece?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
He also, for context, was really fucking creepy. He was, like, 2 years older than me, and now I love him. He's, like, he changed a lot.
He has?
He has. He's really fucking sweet, and he's still crazy as fuck, and I love him for that. But there was a time where he was, like, really fucking weird, and, like, super overly sexual with me, but we're not gonna get into that.
Dude, one time, okay, so this is not a bad thing. This was not upsetting to me at all, but I find it kind of funny that they would say friend, because I remember at the ending of the last meeting, I was, like, walking, and I noticed you weren't behind me. I turn around. Guess who's making out with him? Guess who's kissing face? Anyways. I
had issues.
That wasn't the problem.
I had issues.
That wasn't the problem. I did not participate in that, but it was like, Jackson can have whatever relationships they want, so.
I regret that. I regret that. It's okay, though. Anyways, back to the story, though. So other moments where you were, like, upset with me that led up to the...
So, I had very bad social anxiety, right?
Yeah.
And so, my social anxiety was
She did. I had to do a lot of the talking for her back in high school.
Yeah.
Back in middle school.
And a lot of the social anxiety was I was scared to get in trouble for stuff. So, quite often, when Jackson would come over, I kind of felt... I don't know if used is how I felt, but I felt...
That's what you told me, and I 100% am okay with that. Like,
yeah.
that's valid.
Okay.
I think I definitely... I mean, I already stated it. I kind of I kind of
Yeah.
abused the ability of being here.
Yeah.
I kind of did use you, and I regret that. That is
Yeah.
100% my fault, and I take accountability for that.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the difference, people. Take accountability for your bullshit.
Hi. Hi. We are here to take accountability, right? Yeah. I mean, you know... Okay, anyways, back to the story. My mind was thinking a lot. Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's not your fault. You have ADHD, okay? We
do.
love our ADHD person. Oh, wait, I have it too. Yeah. Anyways. But basically, that, and they would regularly, they would regularly, like, hang out with guys. And one thing that really upset me, that I did something that I really regret because of it, and kind of did something super petty as a result, it was super petty, that my phone, for a while, I had to delete them all, like, afterwards, and it took me a while, but they had a lot of guys that they were talking to have my numbers. If you remember.
Were you messaging the guys that I was talking to?
Okay, no, I was not. That's not what was happening.
What were you doing then?
What was happening was... I did get pissed when I kept getting notifications, so one time I did read one of them, but that was the extent of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was another time that pissed me off.
Yeah, that was the same time. I think I read it, and then...
So, no, here's the thing. The one that I'm referring to is what I was... I'm trying to think of a name to call them. How about I call them...
Riley?
Beck. Oh, Riley? Riley's good, too.
Either, whichever one you want. Ivy? Okay, yeah.
Sorry, we're trying to... I don't want to, like, name drop people.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm going to talk about... So, we'll call them Ivy. I like Ivy.
Yeah, Ivy, yeah.
So, I'm polyamorous.
Yeah.
For everybody listening and watching. Which means that, for me, I date more than one person at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And it is consensual. All my partners are aware. I make sure and I communicate.
Yeah.
So...
This is the petty thing I was referring to that I did not know what it word. So
Yeah.
I read the message, right?
Oh, no.
And then I'm getting to it.
Okay.
I did it, and then what did I don't think I said. I didn't send a screenshot, but I told them what was said.
Right. For extra context, what ended up happening was I was dating somebody named Ivy, which is a fake name. We're just gonna go with it. And I was also dating somebody named, let's call him,
Charlie.
Sure, Charlie. That works.
I'm good at naming things.
Yeah. So that's my brother's name.
Oh, do you want to do something?
How about
Chuck.
Chase? Chase.
Chase.
Okay, so Chase, I was dating Chase and Ivy, and here's the thing. Chase went by his middle name and not his first name. And so,
so this was part petty and part genuine concern, I must say.
Right.
So the petty part was that I read it.
Let me explain the thing, though. The reason why there was a mistake, though. Because it was also genuine confusion, and she just didn't understand what the fuck was going on. So, like I was saying, I referred to him as Chase. That was his middle name, though. Like, continuously would refer to him as his middle name, not his first name. However, because I had my email signed in on her phone, she saw the emails between me and Chase, and saw it as his first name because it was their school emails and it was set up to his first name.
And I'm gonna just say, admittedly, so when I first opened it, I was confused because I thought it was a message to me.
Right.
But what I did wrong was I continued to read it.
Right.
When I realized.
And what happened was she thought that I was talking to a completely... Because she knew Chase. Yeah, she knew I was dating Chase. She didn't know his first name.
Yeah.
And so she read his first name and thought it was a completely different guy that I was talking to and flirting with. And so she goes to Ivy and reports to my other partner, telling them, because they were friends, telling them, hey, Jax is cheating on you.
Because to be fair, that is genuinely what I thought, but there was a better way to go about it.
And so then my partner comes to me and, like, Ivy's like, hey, babe, are you cheating on me? And I'm like, the fuck, no. You know, I'm with Chase, you know this. And they're like, yeah, but, like, you know, Kat told me...
Who's this? They were like, who's this first name guy?
Yeah. And I was like, that's Chase's first name. He goes by his middle name. And Ivy was like, oh. And then I got really pissed because I was
Yeah.
like, the fuck are you doing? Why would you tell my girlfriend that?
And here's the thing. I will own that was not the right thing to do.
No.
Okay? That was not the right thing to do.
No.
I probably would not have owned up to that back then.
No.
Because back then, my thought process... I'd say my thought process back then was it didn't matter what you do as long as your intentions were good.
Right.
My thought process in that is since changed that you can mess up even if your intentions are good.
And I will say, though, you did apologize for it. You did apologize for that because I straight up came to you and I was like, dude, what the fuck? First of all, don't be going through my email. Second of all, like, I straight up came up to you and I was like, don't be going through my email.
I thought it was
and
over a message. I don't remember it happening in real life.
It didn't go. It was over text or call.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I came to you about it, though.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't go through my messages. Don't, and also, I almost said his actual name. Chase is, let's say his first name is Rylan.
Yeah.
For now, okay? So, Rylan is Chase. Chase is Rylan. Like, that's what I told her. I was like, Rylan is Chase. That's his first name. He goes by his middle name.
Mm-hmm.
And she did say sorry. She did say sorry. She's like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. The thing
That's not the falling out.
Yeah. However, we'd already fallen out before that, to my knowledge. But the thing yeah, this was after, which is why I acted that way, I think. That was why it was
I thought
petty.
it was right before.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was...
No, it was after. I'm pretty
Okay.
confident, because it was after the post.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
I can tell you about the post. You want me to talk about the post now?
Maybe we should go in order.
We should have, but you skipped out. Because you talked about the thing.
Okay, well, do you want me to finish my... Okay, you know what? You go tell your post.
Okay. My post, your
or
post,
my
bitch.
post. No, okay, my post, but you tell it.
Okay. So, as we mentioned before, Kelsey. We're going back to Kelsey, right? Kelsey was super manipulative and, like, super fucking toxic. And I called it out in the bullshit.
And Kelsey basically... And there's a lot of, like, reasons behind this post that didn't have much to do with Kelsey.
Right.
So I'll own that there were a lot of concerns.
But Kelsey definitely did influence it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of concerns, right, but I still want to be responsible for, like, I did the post.
Yeah.
Kelsey may have, like, heavily encouraged me to do the post, but I still went and did it.
I didn't even
know
that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she encouraged you to post that.
Yeah, well...
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, because I feel like I should still be accountable for the fact that I went and posted it.
Yeah, no, that's
like, she
fair.
encouraged me to post it, but that doesn't matter, because I could have just been like, nope, not gonna post it.
Right.
But, so...
What the post was, though, for context, Kat posted it was like a big
Was it an
paragraph.
Instagram story?
It was Instagram. It wasn't
Yeah.
story. It was not a story. It was a post.
Okay, oh, it was a post.
You had to take it down because your dad told you to. So let me explain it, though. So on the post, it said, I can't believe I wasted 2 years with a two-faced, lying, toxic bitch.
So basically, it was pretty apparent who it was about, because who had I known for 2 years?
I was the only person that she's been friends with for 2 fucking years. So I knew it was targeted at me. And then the caption underneath it, I don't remember it entirely, but it went deeper into
Did I
it.
put a hashtag?
No, but it went deeper. I don't remember, actually. That part I don't have
remember
screenshotted.
what-
I didn't screenshot the whole thing. I only screenshotted the post and then a little bit of the caption. So I wouldn't even be able to tell you the entire caption. But, like, what I do remember, the caption went deeper into our friendship, talking about how horrible I was of a person, and saying, and throwing shade on me that didn't even deserve. That's on some parts of it. Like, some of it totally actually was valid. But a good majority of it did not deserve.
Hear me out, though. Hear me out. It was wrong regardless, because of the fact that it was stuff that I could have vocalized to you privately, but chose not to.
No. And so I saw the post.
I'm pretty sure a lot of that was probably the first times of them hearing us upset about that shit.
Yes. There was only like once or twice that she actually straight up came to me and told me about it before that post.
And this is where I was kind of a fucked up person, is that...
She posted it on Instagram. Several people saw it. I only saw it because I was scrolling, I think. I don't even think anybody sent it to me. I think I was just scrolling and I found it.
Yeah.
And I immediately told my dad. And now, for context, at this point, both of our fathers knew each other, had talked to each other, had each other's phone numbers. So I went and told my dad, and he went and told her dad, and her dad told her to take it down.
Yep.
She took it down.
Yeah.
It's not there, I promise.
I listened to... Here's the thing. I'm very... If my dad tells me to do something, I do it. I still do it. I'm 21 years old.
That was the falling out, though. That was the falling out. That hurt. Talking a little bit more about my side of that, so then you can get into your side of it.
Yeah, you can.
Was when I read that, I broke down in tears because, like, for context, Kat had been my best friend. Like, we were super fucking close, and yes, where there were times where it was very transactional.
I didn't even know it was transactional.
It was because I was often like dragging you places when you didn't want to go, and I would beg you to go. And
I mean, I guess I don't know.
But besides the point, though, yeah. So I was often like dragging you places, and I know that the friendship was very transactional, but it was still my best friend, and I am not great with relationships or friendships, and so it really hurt to lose Kat, especially in that way, because that was just. Some of the things that she put in the post were extremely fucking hurtful. They were clearly targeted and clearly meant to hurt my feelings. And some of them were totally invalid and totally even, like, misinformation kind of vibes. And when I read it to my dad even was like, that's weird. Why would she say that? And I was like, I don't fucking know. That's the fucking point. And I'm sitting there crying. He texts her dad. My dad texts her dad. And she takes it down. And I was still just in disbelief. And I don't even think we talked after that, except for
We talked a couple... So I remember some... So I remember stuff that I don't know if they remember, but we'll get into it when we get there. I don't remember a lot of things. The timeline is pretty long. It's longer than you probably remember it being. Probably. It's pretty long.
Get into it.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a hug because I still feel bad.
Oh, you're okay. I mostly forgive you for it because, like, I understand that it was heavily influenced by that bitch, and especially with the context that I received, which we'll get into that later, which that'll probably be next episode because that gets more into the reunion.
I don't know if I ever explained the full deal of what I was going through.
Not entirely, but
like, because it was straight up an abusive thing I was in, and I didn't pick up on that until, like, I never let myself process it.
I tried to warn her. I knew it was abusive. I knew that this person was horrible and toxic. I knew it. I could tell. And I tried to warn her, and that's what a good Oh! There's something I forgot with the post. I remember messaging you, and I told you, why the fuck did you post that?
Did I block you? Is that what happened?
No. You told me all of these nasty things. You were telling me about how, one of the things that you did post was how I was controlling, which, yes, I can be. But you also told me that, I was trying to take away your friendship with Kelsey. That I was trying to destroy your friendship with Kelsey because I'm the only person who's allowed to be friends with you. That's what you put in the post. That wasn't a message. That was what you put in the post.
There's a deeper reason that I felt that way, but I'll get into it when I get there.
Yeah. But I forgive you for the most part. I'm still a little salty about it, but that's only because you posted it on social media. That's the only reason. It has actually nothing to do with what you posted. It's entirely the fact that you posted it on social media, and then that's how the friendship had to end.
Yeah,
that's what was really, like, if we had been popular, if we had been, like, famous content creators back then, that would have been hilarious. But if we had been and you had done that, that would have been millions of people seeing that shit.
Yeah.
Instead, it was, like, 50. But still, that's a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people.
I'm pretty sure I had, like, 30 followers at the time.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No, you actually had a lot of followers. I remember that. You had, like, at least 60.
I don't have that Instagram account anymore, that's the thing.
It was primarily, like, just, classmates.
Yeah, I don't have that Instagram account anymore because I've been through 3 Instagram accounts because that bitch keeps trying to follow me on new ones. But anyways.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Kelsey?
Yep.
Yeah, no.
She even followed me on she even did that on TikTok at one point.
What the fuck?
Anyways, we'll get back to that'll probably this is the first they're hearing about that, I'm pretty sure. But,
yeah, I didn't know about that part.
But
that's okay though.
Context time, right?
Your side of the story.
Yeah. So
why you made that post? Why did you make that post?
Oh god. I feel really guilty, so give me a moment to say it. But
that's okay. Take your time.
So, what
always take your time.
Sorry.
I'm gonna sit here and judge you though. I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding.
I earned being judged. It's fine. What?
I know, I was judging you.
Like, basically, so there was a lot going into it. So, for context, this is where it was my fault. I came out and I was very insecure for a lot of reasons. And I think Jax Jen would own that some of the things they weren't exactly helpful with, but a lot of it they were helpful with.
Yeah.
A lot of it they were helpful with. But this is wrong, but, like, when you're upset with somebody, it's unfortunate, but you can only see the negative things they've done a lot of the time. I'm pretty sure Jackson has had the same experience where...
I mean, that's where it was when you made that post.
Yeah, you don't see the positive things that have happened when you're upset. It's kind of unfortunate. Because if you do, a lot of times you can when you do, you realize, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have done that. Right. You know, and, like, that was an overreaction.
Especially in the heat of the moment. Except for the thing, we'll deep dive, I can deep dive into this in another episode, but, like, for me, with just being recently diagnosed with BPD, I've known this about myself, but it aligns with BPD. A lot of the time, my anger towards somebody and only seeing the negative of them lasts a lot longer than it should. Mm-hmm. And so a good majority of the time, even after I've calmed down from the anger, I still can only see the negative for, like, a good solid, like, month sometimes.
For context, I have bipolar disorder, so a lot of times, and I didn't know I had it back then, so I didn't have proper medication, so a lot of times I'd have a big, like, month of mental health freakouts, and then I'd come back and I'd be like, oh shit, I just ruined my whole life.
Right.
You know, and that was one of those instances, I feel like. And this girl had heavily...
Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey had heavily, I think, affected my BPD at the time. Or bipolar disorder.
I'm the one with BPD!
I know, but they should have the same acronym.
So here's the thing about... One thing that I'm going to, like, quickly teach you all, every listener. BPD and bipolar are actually... I don't know if you know this.
They're different.
They're different, but they're often misdiagnosed for one another. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
So BPD and bipolar are often misdiagnosed for each other because of the fact that one specific detail about the two of them. They both have mood swings. The key difference between a BPD mood swing and a bipolar mood swing is the length and how long those mood swings last. So with somebody with BPD, I'm sorry, this is turning into therapy. Somebody with BPD, their mood swings are going to be a lot shorter, and they're going to often last either within a day, a week, like at the most, maybe 2 weeks at the most. Sometimes maybe a month. If it's like, for example, you can have a mania, like a good high for a good month with BPD. But depressive episodes can last a lot longer.
Yeah.
With bipolar disorder, however, those mood swings last for more than maybe close to weeks to even months. The difference between it is the fact that BPD is more common to have mood swings within a day. So you can go, like, within an entire day, look at your mood swings and be like, I was super happy then, and then I was, like, super depressed, and then I was super angry, and then I was super happy again, and then I was, like, super angry again, and it's just, like, up and down, up and down, up and down throughout the entire day. Bipolar disorder is throughout a year. You're going to have highs and lows through different months. So, yeah. Sorry, little quick education.
No, it's okay. You know what? This is now an educational podcast.
A little bit, why not?
Show this in classrooms, but cut out the swearing.
Anyways, back to the story. Going back to Kelsey and all that bullshit.
There was a few things that happened. For one, but basically, I think we both had moments of being jealous of each other for different things. I think you'd agree to that. Like, we were both jealous people, I feel like.
I was jealous of your freedom.
Yeah. And I was, straight up honest. This is gonna sound so gay. Oh my god. But I was jealous of your attractiveness. No, literally. I was literally...
I'm pretty?
whatever feeling you're feeling today. Pretty, handsome, whatever. Yeah.
Pretty's okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, and so...
I'm beautiful.
For context... Like, we were in school, right? Like, this is where I was hella jealous. And sometimes, I'm gonna tell them, they didn't help sometimes. Sometimes they were helpful. Sometimes they weren't. Like, 'cause their response was... Because they had responses, and this is where I was upset with them, genuinely. But my jealousy was... So, a lot of... I was always the single one in our friendship.
Yeah.
They were always in a relationship.
There were a few times where you were in relationships.
Yeah.
And they were not a good relationship.
Yeah, and that's where this happened. So there was a couple things that I was upset about, and a lot of the time I think you had good intentions.
Yeah.
But this girl, Kelsey, was like, those intentions cannot be pure. Sorry, I had to do a voice for her.
I know. She's so shitty. She's so fucking shitty. Anyways, keep going.
Kelsey!
That was loud.
I'm so sorry. But basically, so there's one thing, right? So this is something where I think they had good intentions, but they went about it the wrong way. I don't know if you ever thought about this, but do you remember when the first guy I dated in high school, I got with him too quickly? I don't even know. I'm Demi now, so I don't know what the fuck was going through my mind back then. It's crazy. But remember him? The one that became a felon. We'll tell
that episode. Yeah, that one. That one. I thought that's what you were talking about, but I wasn't sure if it was the one that your brother's not friends with.
No, it's not that one.
No, okay.
That guy wasn't that bad.
He wasn't.
That's the only guy I think
he was like the only like relatively good one.
Yeah. But basically, so.
By the way, guys, I have a septum piercing. I'm not picking my nose. I keep seeing myself in the camera and I'm like, oh, wait, I look like I'm picking my nose.
Yeah.
I'm not picking my nose. Continue.
But basically...
We can call him Felon. That's his name.
Okay. So...
We'll get into that next story, like another episode, talking about her really shitty ex. Maybe we should do an episode of just about our exes.
Oh my god, yes!
Because I have some really shitty exes, too.
I have some shitty ones, but I have less to talk about. But
see, here's the thing. I could spend an entire 30 to 40 minute episode just talking about my exes.
Okay, well, it'll be long enough if we... Well, I guess it'll be a long episode, which is fine.
This is a long episode. That's okay.
But basically, what ended up happening was... Right, so for context, I came home to Jackson. I was like, oh my god, I got a date to homecoming. And Jackson was who the fuck is it with? Or something like that.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you were... And I think you were... I don't think you were jealous. I think you were just surprised and caught off guard because I had never once mentioned a remote interest in anyone before this.
I remember this because I wasn't just on okay, this is where I was a little shitty back then. I was surprised that you could pull anyone. Period.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing that hard. I don't believe that now. I'm saying back then I used to believe that. I mean, you could just...
Dude, you cut my hair so I can't do as many hair flips anymore.
I cut her hair. I also cut my own hair.
That was your revenge. You didn't want me to do hair flips anymore, did you?
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah. And at the time, to be fair, you probably weren't that wrong. But I mean, you'd be wrong if you said it now.
The reason why was because you were at the beginning of your transition and you still looked very masculine. And I think especially when you told me it was a guy, I was extremely more thrown off. I was like, is he gay?
And I think I outright said it and I was like, I think he's straight.
Right.
I think he was bi, but I didn't know at the time. By the way, y'all, I was a freshman. He was like, I don't know if you even knew how much older than me he was.
Was he a senior?
He was a junior who I believe was held back.
Well, that's not that bad, though, because you were a freshman that was held back.
I guess, but...
So, that's not entirely bad.
Okay, but basically, I'm pretty sure what had happened, right, is... So, I was upset about it, and this is where I was stupid. I gave Jackson my phone password at the time. They could just log into my phone. That's why the thing about them having a lot of guys on my phone happened, because I was not able to stand my ground and say, fuck no.
The reason, for context, why I had my stuff on her phone. I had a Snapchat account on her phone. I had my email on her phone. I think I had something else on my phone.
I thought you just had messages, but I didn't
remember. No, it wasn't messages. It was never messages. I only had Snap. I used your number once, and that was for my ex, and that was to annoy the fuck out of him.
Wow, thanks for that. I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. You had my email. And technically Google Hangout when it was like actually working for school.
By the way, okay, so there's
wait. The real reason was because I had really strict parents. And so I would use, again, like I said, it was a thing I abused.
Oh, by the way, you know what happened one time I don't even think you knew about? So, Kelsey I think it was Kelsey who hacked my account to send you a mean message.
Seriously? Oh, yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah,
actually.
and I was, like, confused, because I was like, did I send this in my sleep? What the fuck? Why would I send this on a school email? Like, I wasn't that stupid. Right. I was like, and it was so...
I thought it was from you. I think I went to the school about it, actually.
No, and it wasn't. So and luckily the school knew it wasn't from me, because they knew my character somewhat. But what happened, I've never confirmed if it was Kelsey, but that is the only fucking person to make sense.
Right.
So what happened was, right, so, and this is where it was confusing. It was like, they were like, you talk shit about me to teachers, and I was like, well, if they did that, that's news to me. Like, when I read that. And so this is, like, getting ahead in the story, sorry, but I'm not good at keeping a timeline. And then I looked at my email, like, my school email, and I looked at, and it was like, someone is logged into your account. I look at it, it's like, there is a Mac that's logged in your account. I'm like, my family literally does not have a Mac computer. We cannot afford that shit. What the fuck? Like, yeah. I don't even know how that girl could afford that shit, because she, like, didn't live... She, like, lived in a hotel. I don't know how she could afford it. But anyways, just... And yeah, and so I told the teacher, I was like, look, and I sent them, like, hey, my account got, like, hacked into, like, I have the message saying it's from a Mac, which I do not own. And so, luckily, they were like, okay, we'll figure this out. I don't know if they never got back to me on who did it. So, like... And I remember feeling really guilty about that, because even though I didn't say it, I was like, well, they have no reason to believe I didn't say that, you know?
Yeah.
Like...
I don't remember this.
But anyways, back to the regular timeline, right? So what happened was, right, so this was when I was with this guy. You were shocked. And then I told you who it was, and I think... I don't mean this to sound bad, but you had a history with a lot of guys, so I didn't know everyone you had history with, and I think you mentioned having history with him a little bit. I don't think it was that deep, but there was
some. The guy you dated?
The guy, yeah, you mentioned something about having some history with him.
I don't think I ever dated him.
I think you had mentioned
but I had history because I knew him. And I know I didn't like him.
Yeah. And so this is what happened this was something where I think they had good intentions. They went about it the wrong way. But Kelsey decided to get rid of all the good intentions. Or not get rid of, but try to convince me that those good intentions weren't there.
Right.
Because when you look back at it objectively now, they weren't wrong about him. Jax had really good instincts and I didn't.
Accurate.
But what happened was, right...
The difference is that I have fairly good instincts compared to her.
Yeah. And I've realized something about myself, and it's that I do have good instincts, I just don't trust myself enough to use them, so I've been working on that.
Right.
Because I always have an instinct, but then I ignore it, because I'm like, why would I be smart enough to know that's a good instinct?
Right.
You know, like, I'm skeptical of my own instincts, it's great. Not actually great, but, you know. And what happened was, they took my phone, I think I tried to get it back, but... Look, arm wrestle right now, I would lose.
You weren't even trying. Try that again. Wait, hold on. Holy shit, you're actually good. What the fuck? No. I won.
No. Oh my.
That hurt my arm.
I'm so sorry.
That hurt my arm.
Sorry, that hurt my
You're actually a lot stronger than you think you are.
Oh my God.
We also are not on a table. We need to do it on a table. We should.
Yeah.
We
I think because I'm up taller, I had a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, you had a little bit of an advantage.
Alright.
Anyways.
But basically what ended up happening, right, they took my phone, I tried to take it back, but I couldn't because I'm weak AF, right, and I think they started texting embarrassing stuff about me so I would stop going with him. I don't know if you remember this. Like, I think your intention was good. Like, you thought, if you thought, like, hey, if he can leave her now, it won't hurt her more later.
Probably. I don't remember this at all.
And what happened was, oh, you don't? Oh, no.
No.
Am I imagining? No, I'm not imagining this. I'm confident in my memory. Okay.
You could have mixed me for Kelsey on that one, but I don't
No,
know.
but it was like before I met Kelsey. It was like beginning of the year, remember?
Oh.
Before homecoming. Like, she didn't move there.
I might have done this and I just blocked it out.
Yeah, but what happened was, I think you said something like things that were embarrassing about myself that I struggled with. You were like, she doesn't shower. He was like, I don't care. You were like, she's trans. And he was like, I don't care.
I do remember that. Oh, shit.
Yeah. I think you had good intentions, though.
I don't remember why I did it. I just remember the messages. That's it.
Yeah. And then he was like, I don't care. And I remember you laughing a little bit and being shocked, like, why doesn't he care? And then, so at some point you kind of, so eventually after a lot of things about me were said that I was really embarrassed and kind of upset about, but I didn't vocalize it to you that I was upset, which is where I was, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did all that, right? And so...
She's better at communicating shit now, too.
Yeah. But... for those of you not watching on the video version...
I just pat her head.
Yeah. But basically, that all happened, right? And it did hurt me at the time, but logically I was able to think... Maybe they just want me to be with a decent guy.
Yeah.
Now, I remember they were like, she doesn't shower, she's trans. There was other embarrassing stuff for said, but I don't remember everything else that was said.
Yeah.
But, and I think you kind of seceded when he kept saying, I don't care. You were like, okay. Like, even then, I think you started to, like, kind of question your own judgment for once. Because it was like, why doesn't he give a fuck? Neither of us should have questioned it, is what ended up happening. But that's probably a story for another podcast. But in the end, that's a story for another episode. But in the end, I don't know why they did it, and I don't think
I don't know either. I can't tell you for the life of me. I block out a lot of my memories, and, like, my brain does it subconsciously. Mm-hmm. So, I don't remember.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they'll remember in a future episode.
Maybe one day I might, like, we'll be recording and I'll just go, oh my god, dude, I remember that.
You remember why you did it. Yeah, but basically, yeah. And then what ended up happening is that ended. Then on Valentine's Day, I got with this other guy that I was the one that asked him out. You literally called me. This was where they were not that bad. Well, not bad. You were never bad. But they were like, I'm so proud of you. You finally told a guy you like him yourself. And I was like, fuck yeah, I did. Wee woo.
That's the guy who's friends with your brother, right?
Yeah. And then I think
Jake.
Yeah.
You can call him Jake.
No, we're not calling him Jake. I know a friend named Jake.
I have a friend. John.
John's like an old guy name. How about...
Oh my god. We can't use his name.
Joey is like a gay guy name. I'm sorry. So...
Wasn't that the name of the fella? What was the name of the fella?
Oh no, that was another guy 8th grade year who remember. The guy that was like, no, that's a story for another podcast, actually.
Anyway, back to this.
So then you came over and you were like, wow, I can't believe you have a partner and I don't. And I think it was an innocent joke, but I took it personally, straight up.
Yeah.
Like, straight up.
So, back in middle school, I was, how do I put this? I was called a whore, even though I never slept with anybody. I just dated that many people.
Yeah. And that's one thing I can say I never said.
I had attachment issues.
And that's one thing, I don't deserve a lot of credit, but I never said that you were that, and I never felt you were that. That's the credit I will give myself.
I'm glad you never felt that, because there were times where I genuinely thought I was. Even though I knew I wasn't, because I knew what whore meant. You didn't you only lose your virginity a couple years ago? I know that's kind of personal, but it's like, not like... 3 years ago.
Yeah, so
same guy who raped me.
Oh god. I'm so...
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. I make jokes out of my trauma, and a good majority of the time I love making people uncomfortable with my trauma. For example, for those of you watching the video version on YouTube, I have a tattoo on my arm. This one right here. You see this like little tombstone? Yeah, so that says April 2022, which was the month that I was raped. And here's the thing. Same guy. I was at work, and I did not have the tombstone. And it was just April 2022. And my coworker asked me, he was like, is like April 2022 like special or something? And I paused and I'm like, what? And then I looked down at my arm and I go, oh no, that was the day I was raped. And he goes, oh shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay then. I was like, I just burst into laughter. I was like, I'm sorry. Anyways, that's another episode.
Yeah, I guess we do it how we handle our trauma, because I think we handle ours differently, which I think is fair.
I laugh about mine.
I do laugh about mine too, but I'm also, I guess I'm kind of private about it, I guess.
I'm public because I stopped caring about...
Yeah.
When it happens right away, I don't really tell anybody. But, like, if it's been months or even years after it, I talk about it all the time.
Yeah. But basically, and for context, I took this personally because they were like, and they said something about, like, this is rare, this will never happen again, or something as a joke. To me being the one with the partner and then one having one. That sounds like you.
Sounds like something I did. I was a shitty person.
Pat, 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 pat.
I was a shitty person. I will be honest. I was a really shitty person back then.
We all kind of sucked, right? We both sucked. Everyone sucked. Everyone sucks, okay? If you're watching this, you probably sucked in middle school, too. Like, no one in middle school is that great. I'm sorry.
I made a joke, and I don't think you understood it, and that's okay.
Okay. I'm just gonna... I didn't hear it, so...
I said I suck.
Oh, God.
18 plus? I'm kidding.
Okay, well...
This is PG-13 for a reason, though.
And yeah, like... And this kind of hurt me just... And it wasn't even, like, necessarily their fault. I kind of made it like it was their fault, which was wrong of me. But it was just... They said that, and it got to me because I was very secure. And to be fair, I still struggle with this because... My lack of ability to get relationships has not gone away, y'all. It's still there.
Hey, we're both single now.
Fuck yeah!
High five! But I'm single on purpose.
I'm single by other people's choice.
I'm single by my own choice. I'm single on purpose because people suck.
I'm single by ladies' and men's choice that aren't mine.
I'm single because Jason Todd doesn't exist in real life.
I'm single because one of my OCs that I'm in love with doesn't exist.
To any viewers that are either cis men or trans men who are cool with dating gender fluid people, if you look like Jason Todd or have the personality of Jason Todd, feel free to DM me.
Please, no, they can say that, but me being me, don't DM me, please. Don't
just me. Hi. I'm kidding. I'm not that desperate. Though I would love to meet somebody who has the personality of Jason Todd. That's another episode. Okay. We can deep dive into
fantasies.
We can deep dive into hyperfixations because Jason Todd is a hyperfixation.
Yeah,
100%.
But basically, oh my god, where were we in the story? We're gonna eventually get to the part where we meet her, right? Yeah, we'll get there.
What do you mean? We already got there.
Oh,
we skipped past. We went to it, skipped past,
and then we went back.
We went back because you can't keep a timeline, and that's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But basically, that happened, right? Well, so I think I was
that a
very
headband?
Yeah.
In your hands. Oh.
I'm stimming with it.
That's okay. I'm not like making fun of you. I was just like, what is that? Because it's curved.
Yeah, it's curved because the curve goes on your ears.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry.
What do you do? Are you gonna try it on?
Yeah, because I want to see how the fuck this works.
I don't know if you did it right, but...
I did! It looks weird! It's just because my bangs.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. This is only for the YouTube viewers. Okay.
You look great.
No, you don't have to lie. Anyways, here you go. Here's your stim back.
But basically, my stim.
I've been stimming with this.
With your mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a little for the viewers that are watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
It props up like this because you're like supposed to be able to set it down, but
noise stim time.
Don't do that this loud.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But anyways, okay. But basically what ends up, so there was a lot going on in my head. Like and there was times where, there were times too where I think, I don't even know how to say this nicely. Oh my god. But like there were times, and there was a reason I felt like you didn't want me to have other friends, and I think it wasn't necessarily your fault. It was because I'm a grade above you. I was in 9th grade and you were in 8th.
Yeah.
So I think you kind of felt. But basically, this had happened, right? She, like, not, okay, well, you, I think, were missing me because of the fact I was in 9th and you were in 8th at the time, right?
Yeah, because you were at the high school.
So we were at different schools at the time, and so I think
this is where the fallout started, though.
So whenever I would, like, talk about making a new friend,
I would get super fucking jealous.
Yeah.
So, for the context so that you understand, this plays into my abandonment issues, actually. I never explained that to you. But, like, when you would talk about getting a new friend, I thought that meant you were replacing me. Mm-hmm. I always thought that meant, oh, so we're not friends anymore, and you're the new one, you don't care about me anymore.
And to give myself credit, had you explicitly said that, I would have...
You would have reassured me.
Yeah, I would have acted very differently.
Yeah.
But it was a different time, y'all.
I didn't know how to communicate back then, either.
Yeah.
I know now!
So, when I met this girl, right, so everything that I'd kind of felt, like, hurt by, that I'd bottled up, right?
Yeah.
So, I think she noticed, hey, like, I think I didn't feel supported by you straight up bluntly. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, I feel bad.
No, you don't feel bad about it.
Okay, but I didn't feel very supported and uplifted. And it wasn't even just you. There was so much going on. Like at the time, my ex that I talked about at the beginning was kind of stalking me, and not many people took my side on that for whatever reason, except Jackson. And then also this girl that caused the fallout also took my side. Which I think was, like, part of me was very in fairy tale land, living like, oh my god, somebody heard me out and took my side. This is not gonna happen ever again. Like, yeah. So, when I met this girl, like, every time that I didn't feel supported or appreciated by you, she would kind of, like, she would put it in my head that meant that you didn't have my best interest in mind.
Right.
Like, she would, like, and the thing is, we all have flaws, like, we're both jealous people, but in a way, and this is gonna sound like she's not that bad, but it in context, it is bad, but she would try to convince me that, hey, you're nothing like them, you're so much better than them, all these bad traits you don't have, but they have them.
Right.
So that might sound to you guys like she's trying to uplift me and make me feel good about myself.
But she wasn't.
But there was an ulterior motive behind it.
Right.
So, that's when the falling out happened, and I'm pretty sure, so at the time, what happened was, her best friend, I was not with the other guy at the moment, like, we got back, him and I had a bad relationship, but it was mostly my fault. I was a mess in freshman year. I'm so sorry, dude, if you're watching this. I was a mess, and I did not know what I wanted at the time, and I'm pretty sure that was obvious, that I didn't know what the fuck I wanted from people.
Yeah.
I was just letting you agree.
I'm half zoning out.
It's okay.
I'm a little warm, and so I'm getting a little overstimulated in this room.
Okay.
Because I'm overheating.
But basically, that would happen, and so her best friend was a guy online from, like, an island over, because we lived on a group of islands without doxing ourselves. He was another island over, like, she'd moved away from him, and I would go in her Instagram live, because we talk about things, and he would get in there, and he was a trans guy, and that comes in later because I'm mad at him for this, but I'll get into that maybe next time. I don't know. But, he would get into the lives, and he had an instant satisfaction and affection with me. Like, he was instantly getting feelings for me. Like, pretty quickly. Like, I was apparently, everything I said, everything I wanted would get him in the feels. Like, he would tell me my laugh was cute. This was all stuff I'd never heard, basically, y'all.
This is, to me, just a random dude doing that kind of shit. I don't care if they're trans or cis. That just grosses me out.
Yeah, and I think the only reason I didn't is because he was a friend of the girl, this Kelsey. Like, they were, like, best friends.
Yeah.
So that's why that... And...
Also, for extra context on Kelsey, we actually... she also introduced us to her partner at the time, and
we love her partner.
We love her partner. I'm gonna call them Jaden.
Okay.
Because I was close enough to their name. Jaden was actually really sweet, and I'm still actually friends with her. I'm Facebook friends with her, or them. I don't remember their pronouns right now,
I
actually.
think it's them, but...
I'm friends with them on Facebook and TikTok. And, they actually, told me about the fact that Kelsey cheated on them.
And that's crazy because of the fact that Kelsey put it in everyone's heads that were around her that she was the victim and she got cheated on. And the only reason I dropped Kelsey is because, I mean, for context, Jaden never told me that she was cheated on. All I heard was Kelsey saying that Jaden cheated on them. So the reason I ended up dropping Kelsey is I made another friend who she was dating, and this friend said she cheated on her. I was like, wait a fucking minute. You know? Like, but anyways... Yeah, so I started going out with this dude. We'll call him Jason because his name started with... All the guys I did in high school, their names started with J. Why'd I do that? I don't fucking know.
Hey, as long as you don't date me. Because my name starts with a J.
Don't worry, I wasn't considering it.
I don't know if I should be, if I should take that as a compliment or an insult.
I'm sorry.
Am I not your type?
Okay, here's the thing.
No, now I want to know. Am I not your type?
Okay,
just out of curiosity.
So, listen, my type is the emo grunge people, so yes. However, I see you as a sibling because of how much we've blown each other. So
I know. You're also like a sister to me.
Yeah,
It would be weird if you dated me. That would be really fucking weird.
If they weren't a sister, yes, but they are, so that's all I will fucking say. Yeah. But yeah, everything that this girl said, and then I went out with this guy, and I told Jackson or something, and what I expected was not what I got. So when I told Jackson, hey, I'm dating this guy, he's really sweet, he compliments me all the time. Now, what we would call that now is love bombing. Did I know what that term existed? No. Did Jax? I don't know if you didn't directly say it was love bombing, so I don't know if you understood the term.
I didn't know the term love bombing back then, though.
But when I went to you, I was expecting an immediate support and congratulations on your new relationship. I'm so happy for you. You deserve all the love. I don't know what I was expecting a more positive reaction
than what I gave.
Than what you gave.
Yeah.
And what you gave was what was telling me that's I don't remember what you said, but it was not positive and highly discouraging of it. I don't remember what you said specifically, but I think you had some good points because me and the other guy had been breaking up and getting back together a lot, and we had broken up 2 weeks before that.
You're talking about your brother's friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so when I got with this other guy, I think Jackson had some good points. And I can own that now. Because I think they had mentioned but what I expected was immediate positivity, and that's not what I got, and because of, what did we say her fake name was again?
Yeah. Felon?
Kelsey, right.
Oh, Kelsey.
Okay. So we thought that, right? And so because Kelsey was always because I had not felt because I didn't feel like you'd ever, and the thing is, you had given me positive
affirmation?
Yeah, that's the word, right? You had given me that, but there were other times where I think I felt like I was really lacking that, genuinely.
Yeah.
Because I think you could own that you were maybe more blunt than needed back then.
I'm still pretty blunt.
Yeah, but you've gotten better at knowing.
I know when to be blunt.
Yeah.
I didn't back then.
Yeah, and I'm somebody that wants, back then especially, I was like, why don't we have all love and positivity? If there was a term called toxic positivity, I'll admit back then that was me. I
think that is a thing.
No, there is a term, and that's why I'm saying that was what I was using back then. I felt I had toxic positivity in me. I can own that. I wanted everything to be positive all the time.
Yeah.
And when something wasn't positive, I had an extreme negative reaction to it. Yeah, I think you can agree with that. So, I'm trying to hurry so you can tell your side.
Do I have a side? I already told my side.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm just waiting for you to be done.
Okay. I thought I didn't.
And adding my own little input here.
Yeah, I just feel like you didn't get a chance to finish, so I feel bad.
No, I finished. I'm
You
good.
said all you wanted to say.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't really think that there's much else. It's once you're done, then we end the video.
Yeah, I think
move
the
on to
difference
next
is
episode later.
I've told a lot less about what's happened privately than they have. You know, like
Yeah.
they've been more open about what happened than what I have in our feelings at the time. So yeah, basically, fuckery duckery, I fucked up.
Wait, why?
Because of-
that I thought you meant just now.
no, I was
thinking
thinking of no, I did the post right now. We went back in time. No, I did it back then, and that's when I fuckery duckery fucked up. But basically, yeah, and so basically, and this girl put in my head like that, and like this girl. Like put in my head, Jackson doesn't want you to have other friends. They only want you. Like, and they bought and this is where I was wrong. Like for some reason, I was scared to vocalize my frustrations with you because I
Right.
didn't want you to be mad at me at the time. But I also wasn't afraid to vocalize them to people who had what I thought was no stakes in the matter.
Right.
I think they kind of had stakes in the matter in hindsight.
Yeah, like especially Kelsey.
Yeah. And it's weird because I don't even know if Kelsey liked me that much, but I think she just, like, so Kelsey, and this is why I call her an abusive friend for reasons, right? Yeah. And a big reason of it is Kelsey's mission was to isolate me from everyone.
Which, in hindsight, like if you think about it, that's what Kelsey was telling Kat about
That
me.
you were trying to do.
That's what I was trying to do.
And I think what it was is, so what it seemed to be to me, right? Jackson had genuine emotions of jealousy, which I'm not faulting you for. Like, we all get jealous, right? Yeah. And, like, I can get jealous too, right? We all get jealous sometimes. I'm not faulting them for that. I'm just saying, like, they were very more, they are very, Jackson is not cold and calculated at all. Like, you can pretty much tell, like, if they're upset with you or if they're...
See, here's the thing. My ex-girlfriend, what she told me was that if I have a problem with you, I don't have to say shit. You'll know. You can tell by my face. Like, you can look at me. You can tell how I'm feeling just by looking at my face. Yeah. I have a very expression face. Like, especially, like, after I shave because I shave my, for the viewers that are watching on YouTube, as you can see, I actually shaved off my eyebrows. I have no eyebrows. And so when I did that, I showed my friends, like, from a few months ago, I showed them this video of me from, like, years ago back in middle school, and they're like, oh my god, I never knew that you, like, talk with your eyebrows. I was like, yeah, I have a really expressionable face.
So because of Kelsey being such a cold and calculated person who was kind of had their intentions in the shadows, like, I think it was they weren't, like, perfectly subtle about it because Jackson could tell.
Yeah.
But me being me, and me, for context, my childhood was very lonely. I didn't have any friends at all. So anytime somebody seemed to want to be my friend in school, I was really happy and ate that right up.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, and genuinely, a lot of my stuff generally was me. I think I was self-sabotaging a lot, too. I think you probably could tell. Because I was kind of, and that's wrong. I mean, I was self-sabotaging because I was like, oh, I'm going to lose Jackson anyways, so why not make it big?
Right.
Or something. So that
post was definitely a self-sabotage.
Yeah.
One of the things I did feel when I read that post was like, this just doesn't sound like Kat. This doesn't sound like my best friend. This doesn't sound like somebody who I have spent 2 years caring so much about.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like somebody who we literally helped each other with self-discovery.
Yeah.
Like, when I mentioned it in our first episode.
Go watch it if you didn't, y'all, or else you'll be very confused.
Go listen or go watch it. I mentioned it in the first episode how I helped Kat realize that she was trans, and then through her transitioning, it actually helped me realize that I was gender nonconforming.
And this is not to avoid accountability, but the reason a lot of it didn't sound like me is it was technically me.
Right, but it was heavily influenced by Kelsey.
So it's like part of it was like it wasn't me because I would.
It was your thoughts. It was your feelings. It was just her tone of voice.
Yeah, and she was kind of using me as a voice box in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's accurate. I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
All in all, this person, Kelsey's a bitch.
Yeah, and I think she was very vindictive because... So she was very angry at you at one point too, and so a part of it...
She hated me because I called her out on her shit.
Yeah.
She hated me because I called out the shit that she was doing.
So part of me thinks, like, while she was being abusive towards me...
She tried that shit with me. I was like, no.
A part of me feels like I was also kind of collateral for you. Because she wanted to hurt you.
Yeah.
So... What was the easiest collateral? Get rid of me.
Yeah, take it away from me.
And I wish
that did hurt me.
I wish I knew I was being used as like a weapon, but
right.
I wasn't very smart.
Yeah.
I wasn't very smart. I'm gonna say it louder. I wasn't very smart. I wasn't very smart. I wasn't very. Okay. Look, I'm screaming all my fuck ups. Okay. It's I don't know.
It's how we cope with it.
Yeah.
It's just how we cope, and that's
okay. Yeah. So.
But anyway,
everything that I'd ever felt that like, it was me, but also a part of it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Are you ready to move on to the?
Yeah. So my side of the story is basically I fucked up big time because I met a girl who
was super toxic.
Super straight up abusive too.
Yeah.
And
just to clarify, this is a genuine question, but this is a clarification for the viewers and listeners. Would you say that Kelsey was physically abusive or verbally or both?
I would only say verbally.
Verbally and mentally.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between being physically abusive and verbally abusive.
The only thing that was kind of... So, the only thing that could arguably be physical... So, this girl, this is the thing where I should have picked up on it. She liked to trigger my anxiety because she had epilepsy, right? She would have seizures pretty darn regularly. So, she knew that I was always worried sick that she was going to have one. And I was always worried about her every time. Because I was always like, no, is my friend going to unalive, you know?
You don't have to say unalive. You can say die.
I don't know if you can say it on YouTube. Actually, I think you can. Yeah. Die. Okay. But basically,
so we can deep dive into that another time.
We'll deep dive into it in another episode. That'll probably be the next episode because I did tell you about this in the reconnection. But basically,
so do you want me to do the outro?
I'm just gonna wrap myself up real quick.
Wrap yourself up and then I'll do the outro.
Okay. Basically, I fucked up big time because I was unable and incapable of vocalizing my feelings of hurt and frustration towards behavior that I felt was hurting me. And then, oh my god, why am I blinking? And then I met her. Then I met somebody who was hella manipulative, hella toxic, hella abusive, wanted to cause as much havoc as possible, and wanted to split us the fuck up.
Yeah.
And also, I don't even think, no, she didn't, it's like she didn't even want me for herself. She wanted me to have no one because she wanted me to depend on her, but not because, anyways. That's my side of the story. I fucked up, and I think there was genuine hurt and stuff that did come from a good place.
Yeah.
But it was stuff that I never vocalized, and even when the fallout happened, I think we had an argument over text too. Where I tried, I then tried to explain it in words, and then
it just didn't come out right.
It didn't come out right. I'm not going to explain it. So I explained it in words, and it made them more upset, right?
Yeah.
And so you went off on me and said my points weren't valid. I'm pretty sure.
I think, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and so in my head in the time, right? So when that happened, I'm not blaming you. It's not your fault. But when that happened, that kind of confirmed to me everything Kelsey was saying to be the truth.
Right.
So.
But I think there was just heavy miscommunication.
Yeah, in my head there was. And also, it was 2020, right? We weren't able to talk face-to-face, too. A lot of this would have been solved, immediately had we been able to meet in person.
Right, but it was COVID, and with a lot of her medical disabilities and her father's age and her brother's medical disabilities, us getting together was very scarce. Because if we didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
I think there was like 1 or 2 times that we actually did get together for over COVID, and we did do performances, but we can get. I'll get into that next episode.
There's more. Yeah, there's more of the story that has happened that happened between us after, but it's more so. I think it served in the process of reuniting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like because there was another.
There's a little bit more about my feelings about.
Because there's also there's another post that happened from them, but it was like in between.
There was.
Yeah, it was. Remember when you had a venting account?
I still have that vent account.
Okay, but.
I posted about you?
Yeah, you said something, and then I'm pretty sure you tagged my account in the post. So it was during, what's the play? It was during the radio show play.
Okay.
Right? And
I remember that.
I think what had happened, right, was we were talking, right? We were talking about, and I was obsessed with Daphne, still am. And I was like, and then I was talking to somebody, then you came over and were like, who are you going to dress as for Halloween? And I said, Daphne. And then you said something about wanting to be us going together as Velma and Shaggy, and some other people are supposed to be Shaggy and Fred. I don't remember who you said. Okay. But, so in my opinion, so I started interacting with you in a positive way because I felt like you were interacting with me. So when you did that, so you did a vent post that I felt very blindsided by. But, you know, it's kind of karma because I did it earlier. But to be fair.
I genuinely don't remember the post you're talking about. Do you remember at all what I said in that post?
You said something about how I was unable to move on, and then I kept talking to you as if we were friends, and I was confused because, and I was confused because a lot of that was conversation you initiated, so that's what I was really confused about.
There were times where you did initiate it. That's what it was. We'll get into it another time. Yeah. Anyways, do you want me to wrap up?
What happened was, and this was similar in the extent that, like, what happened was, I was like, you can keep the post up, but please untag my ass.
Yeah.
And so I told and this is basically just history repeating itself. I told my dad, he told yours, and the tag was removed.
I wonder, because I still have that account. I wonder if I can find it. I wonder if it's still out there.
Maybe you can. Oh my god. Wait, maybe you can. I'm not following that account. I think I unfollowed it when that happened.
Let me go look. It would have been one of my posts, right?
It was on your venting account.
This is my vent account. It's been the same account, I just probably changed the name. It became like my...
It would have been
behind the scenes main account.
Whenever the radio show was, that's when it happened.
I know, it's gonna be all the way down here. Okay, let me see. Nope.
It was around there. I remember that post.
These ones?
Yeah, I remember those ones.
This was my vent account. This might be it. This is it. This is it. Do you want me to read it? Do you want me to read the post?
Go ahead and read it.
Okay. So,
I feel bad we don't have mine anymore.
For the people on YouTube, I don't know if you can just see a white screen. That white screen is actually the post that Kat put on Instagram. That's the screenshot.
Oh, really?
It says, can't believe that it took me this long to realize someone I thought was a friend was a toxic, two-faced, lying bitch who has an issue with me being happy.
And that was my genuine feelings, but I said it really nastily.
And then, this is the part underneath that says, yeah, she was, which you misgendered me. I didn't even realize this, but this is from the post.
I probably didn't.
It was because I scratched out your name.
I don't think I did.
That's why. That's why. I think it was. I don't think I actually straight up tagged you. I think it was the fact that your name was in it, and I think I had to remove it. But I don't remember. Anyway,
I remember my account being tagged because
this is where your account would have been.
Yeah.
See? But anyways, it says, yeah, she was such a toxic person who always hurt me, and I feel like an idiot. Think someone like her would actually treat me with respect and wasting 3 fucking years on this person.
Which one? I think was 3 was actually wrong too. Like it was 2.
It might have been 3 years. It might have been. It was either 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Besides the point, this is what I posted.
Yeah.
Even after all this happened, she still talks to me as if we're friends. And you know what? It hurts. It hurts because she treated me so badly, and all of her other friends came at me at once. Shit, I even beat myself up for it because I started to believe it was my fault.
I don't even remember other friends coming.
Your other friends did message me.
Okay.
A few of your other friends did message me.
I wasn't fully aware of that, so.
Yeah.
Now I'm aware, and now I feel bad. See, we're getting more aware. I'm sorry.
And even after all the shit she said and the scars we gave each other, she still looks at me with that sweet smile and sees straight through me. Like the other day, she asked, "Who here is most likely to commit a crime?" Then she looked directly at me. Yeah, I did. I did admit that was true. And I did end up laughing because I knew it was true. Mm-hmm. But it hurt to realize how well she knew me.
I will also point out, too, this isn't an excuse for that specific thing, but what I do tend to do, right, and this also happened there, but sometimes my mind sometimes I can't control it, but I stare at the person in the room, I recognize their face.
That's fair.
If you haven't noticed. And I didn't know most of those people, but I knew you. So, and my brother was there, so whoever was closest to me.
This was during our acting class. And
I didn't know anyone, so I would stare at the person who I knew, recognized.
Right.
And in my head, I think it was me subconsciously fighting my social anxiety a bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I don't remember initiating. I do remember. Okay, so what happened to my memory is that
we were playing a game of who's most likely to.
Yeah, and that was, I think, and what happened in my memory, right, was that because you initiated stuff, my brain was like, why don't I initiate stuff?
Yeah.
Kind of like stupidity in me, you know? Was like, hey, they're initiating stuff, so that means I should.
Right. Stupid
logic, but it was my logic back then.
Okay, so continuing on, because there's only like a little bit left. I guess that's expected after being best friends for over 3 years. It was 3 years.
Oh, I guess
we were friends for 3 years. We knew each other like the back of our hands. We knew each other better than we knew ourselves. I will admit that some days I do miss what we had. But I've moved on because I can't ever see us getting back to that. I just wish she could move on too. And then I tagged ex-best friends, past, toxic, hate myself, reflection myself. I didn't even spell it. Oh, reflect on myself. That's why I didn't read it right. Hate her, leave me alone. We are not friends, and stop.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna. No, I'm not. I was gonna say that most of those tags wouldn't have gotten you views, but
no, but I didn't care. The stuff that I put with because I also put the screenshots of what she posted. I also put a thing that says, "I'm sad, hurt, angry, mad, and disappointed, but you know what? I'll put on a smile and move on. It will hurt, but I will survive."
Mm-hmm.
And then another one that says, "Best friends. They act like your therapist, worst enemy, your lesbian lover, your best friend, your mom, your sibling, like they're freaking God or something. But most importantly, the person you love the most."
I'm sorry, camera. I smiled not because it was good. I didn't agree with it, but the lesbian lover part got me in the crazily. That one was wild to me.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Anyway, I don't even remember posting that.
Yeah.
The fact that you do is what's funny. I was like, I wonder if that's still up. Because, I don't remember posting it.
And I remember.
And I had to scroll for that.
I kind of had. And it was crazy because, I kind of got a taste of my own medicine in the sense that I was completely blindsided.
I can tell you why, because just by reading that, I know my own brain. I don't remember posting it, but I know why I posted it. What it was that I was hurt. That it was killing me on the inside. That our friendship had died the way it did. And then it annoyed the fuck out of me. That, it drove me absolutely fucking crazy that you were talking to me at all. And, what it felt like was that you had such a positive, tone and interactions with me.
That's how I was always was, though, as a kid.
Well, yeah, but, in my brain, I was like, why is this bitch being so fucking nice to me? Is she pretending she didn't do all this shit to me? Is she pretending she didn't treat me like shit? So I was like, why the fuck is this bitch being so goddamn nice to me?
Mm-hmm. And for clarity, I will say, what was I gonna fucking say? Hold on. I was being
I think
nice
we're both getting tired. It's getting late.
Yeah, I was being nice because I generally, if you meet me in person or if you see me online, like if you go to my other channels and the way I interact, I'm generally
She is
positive
really nice.
in a happy environment. Like if I'm in an environment where I feel like I belong and feel happy, that's where I'll be there.
Right.
But also a small part of me, I did that because I genuinely felt guilty too.
Right.
Because by that point, I had already gotten out of like the whole abusive thing and the big crisis, and I was like, oh shit, I just fucked up the one thing in my life I had going for me, you know?
Right.
So, like...
And I don't, like... We can get back into it, you know what?
Yeah.
I will continue this next episode.
Yeah, we'll continue it next episode.
So, to close this out, thank you all for listening or watching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jax.
I'm Kat.
And next episode, most likely next week, or the week after, because we did record episode 1 and 2 back to back.
Yeah.
We will...
And we don't have time to record a third because it's
9 o'clock.
Jackson is gonna have to drive home in the darkest days unless you want to sleep over again.
No. No offense, I'm not sleeping on your floor, and I'm not sleeping in that room.
Jackson is scared of one of the rooms in our house.
I'm not scared of it, I just don't like it. I'm gonna bring my tarot cards, and next time I come over, and I'm bringing my tarot cards, and I'm doing a reading in that room because I don't like that fucking room. Anyways, next week we'll talk more about our reunion.
We did eventually reconnect.
Yeah, well, clearly.
Yeah. Dude, this podcast is happening.
This podcast is made by AI.
Yeah, it's made by AI. This isn't even real. We're not even real. Like, none of this even happened, right?
This is all in your dreams.
Yeah, none of this even happened. Like, this is just an AI who gained sentience and decided to come up with
Sentience! Not sentience.
They gained sentience and decided
Sentience! Okay.
Yeah.
To close it out, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
And I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye. And
Bye-bye.
again, I'm sorry.
Stop hugging me so awkwardly.
I'm just awkward.
Anyways, bye y'all.
Bye.